afternoon to all. In this today's class, fourth lesson, that is unit number 4, electromagnetic induction lesson. So in this today's topic, transformer. So transformer, you know very well about that. So it is one of the device that can be we see in our street areas. So for each and 4 streets there is one transformer is there. So for our area also we have a transformer. So it is a stationary device, that is which can be used to transform the electrical power. So it is used to transform the electrical power. So from one circuit to another, we have to use this transformer, and also without any changing its frequency. So that is the other ways we have to saying that when you are giving the applied, that is voltage, alternating voltage, that voltage is increased voltage or decreased voltage, it can able to change with corresponding increase or decrease of current in the circuit. So that is the usage of the transformer. So we have to apply the voltage, so it can be converted into the current value. So in this transformer, so this is the purpose of the transformer. So it is used to transform, that is convert the electrical power from one circuit to another power. So for example, if the transformer which can be able to convert the alternating current that can be with a low voltage, so it can be convert into alternating current with high voltage. So that is considered as a step up transformer here. So on the other hand, so we have to consider the transformer converts alternating current with high voltage, it can able to change into alternating current with low voltage. So it is considered as a step down transformer here. So there are two types of transformer. So now we will see the transformers principle, construction, working, and also their diagram, and what is the efficiency of the transformer also. And before that we have to see about the derivations, that is what we have to get from the power value of the transformer here. So let's see that. So principle, so it works under the principle of mutual induction between the two coils. So that mutual induction we are already studied. So what is meant by the mutual inductions? There are two coils are there. So from coil 1 we have to give the current value. So we have to passing through the current value in the one coil with change in time. So it can able to produce the magnetic field around it. Because of this magnetic field in the second coil, it can able to produce the induced EMF and also produce the induced current in the second coil. So this concept is called the mutual induction. So this is the principle of the transformer here, the mutual induction between the two coils. So this is the principle. Next one, construction of the transformer. So in this construction there are two coils are present here, coil 1 and coil 2. The coil 1 is generally referred as a primary coil. So and also the number of turns is also there, that is considered as NP. So for supplying the voltage is called the primary voltage, that is VP here. And also for the secondary coil, that can be referred as here S. So here the number of turns is NS. So here you just see that the number of turns in the first, that is primary coil, is smaller than that of the secondary coil here. So you just notice that. So later I will explain about why we have to use like this coil, number of turns. So and also the secondary coil voltage is Vs, then Ns is the number of turns here. So here the producing the secondary current is also Is here. So next one we have to see the working and also the windings of this primary and secondary coil in the transformer core. So here the transformer core is the rectangular shape and we have to give the space at the center because of reducing the eddy current. So the center part is spaced, and this is the transformer. The transformer is made up of any one of the good magnetic material. So Most over we have to use the silicon. Steel is used for a transformer core. So next one, working. So working means mutual inductions can be takes place. That is, the primary coil is connected to the any source of the alternating voltage. So the primary coil is given the voltage value. Then this alternating magnetic flux is also producing around the coil. So here there is no leakage can be produced because the whole magnetic flux is linked with the secondary coil. So here also the secondary coil full-fledged, they have to get the magnetic flux that can be produced from the primary coil. So at the time, so the magnetic changes can each turn is also same for primary and also secondary coils, because here the primary coil able to produce the magnetic flux and it can be linked to the secondary coil, and other times also the secondary coil is also produced the magnetic flux, so that can be also affect the primary coil. So equal amount of magnetic flux is produced both the coils, primary and also the secondary coils here, because that as a result of this flux change for both the primary and the secondary coil, the induced EMF can be produced in both the primary and secondary coil. So that can be equal and also opposite. So to the applied voltage, that is Vp, that can be given by, let's see the derivation now. So this equation shows that the induced EMF induced in the primary coil, that is epsilon P. So it can be equal to, epsilon P is equal to, according to the Faraday's law, so minus Np d phi by dt here. So and also it can be also equal to Vp, that is voltage, applied voltage, that it is a opposite to the applied voltage. That's why EMF EP is equal to minus Np d phi by dt here. So the above equation can also be equal to epsilon P is also equal to Vp. So Vp is equal to minus Np d phi by dt. And also for secondary coil, it can be equal to epsilon S is equal to minus Ns d phi by dt. So for in terms of voltage, that is epsilon is also known as the voltage applied. So Vs is equal to minus Ns by d phi by dt. So equate both the equation, that is Vp is equal to minus Np d phi by dt and also Vs is equal to minus Ns d phi by dt. So you will get Vs divided by Vp is equal to, these are all the voltage in the secondary coil and also divided by voltage in the primary coil, is also equal to, it depends upon the number of turns present in the coils. So equal to Ns by Np. So that can be equal to K. K is known as, that is the transformation ratio here. That is one of the constant. So here always the Ns and divided by Np is a constant, because number of turns in a secondary coil divided by number of turns in a primary coil, that is fixed. We are not changing at all. So for a transformer, so that is considered as a transformation ratio. That is one of the constant here. Now let's find out the power value. So here for a transformer, input power is always equal to output power. So what is the general equation of power? P is equal to VI. So here also the input power is referred as Vp Vi and the output power is equal to Vs Is here. So equate these two values and also find out the Vs by Vp value. So finally you will get the Vs by Vp is equal to Ip by Is, and also equate the above equation. So Vs by Vp is equal to Ns by Np, that is also K. So here you see this equation. So what is the conclusion means, when the Vs value is secondary voltage value is always equal to the number of, so that can be depends upon the number of turns in the secondary coil, and for also the primary voltage is also for primary coil. Here the current value can be changed. So because, so here Ns by Np is equal to Ip by Is, it can be changed. So that can be conclude that. So it may be the two cases. So if Ns is greater than Np, so what does that mean? K is greater than 1. So here Vs is also greater than Vp. That means, so Ns is greater than Np means Vs is greater than Vp. And what about the current value? So Is is lesser than Ip. So in this case, the transformer is used as a step-up transformer, which means we have to give the increasing voltage, then we have to get the decreased current here. So this is the step up transformer here. So and also for the second case, ns is lesser than np. So then here the I value is also is greater than ip. So this transformer is considered as a step up transformer. That means we are giving the voltage is decreased, the current value is, we get the increasing value. So these are all the two types of transformers we have to use. That is already I told you. So I have to explain the number of turns value. So now we studied about the step up transformer. We are giving the increasing voltage, then we are getting the corresponding decreasing current value here. So next one, efficiency of the transformer. So here the efficiency of the transformer. So when the new transformer works 100% efficiency, and the old transformer it can be used losses some of the energies. So then it is a little bit give some reducing efficiency here. So generally it can be referred as eta, that is like a n like structure. So that is called the eta. Eta is equal to output power divided by input power into 100%. We have to substitute the output power divided by input power into 100. So we will get the efficiency of the transformer here. For the efficient transformer, we will get the range of 96 to 99% according to their efficiency of the transformer. So what about the remaining percentage? Means it can be losses, it can be happening the losses. So that is referred as energy losses in the transformer. So no one cannot allow the 100% efficiency, because it may be losses, some of the losses, so sound losses, so like that. So energy losses, heat losses, so like that it can be able to lose some amount percentage. So this is the efficiency of the transformer.